Welcome back to Financial Independence 101. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about several things, basically how the Democrats are responding to their loss, or the country's win. And I'm making the 10 videos, 10 days challenge with Economic Ninja, and I'll start putting that in the title here pretty soon. But with that, I'm a little bit less editing for these videos so I can make sure I have time every day to put these in. And I've got some finance videos planned. I want to get back to the finance videos, but right now, the politics, there's so much going on with it. I want to get through all that and we can get back to some really cool finance videos I have planned coming up. But getting into all of this, starting out, what have the Democrats been doing? And when you see this, Kamala did come out. She did do a concession speech. And with that, it's pretty much what you'd expect. And nothing really groundbreaking there. But more or less, we're going to have the peaceful transfer of power, and that America has spoken, and that they fought the fight, and all those kinds of things. Trying to be inspirational. Gotta say, though, really, there was not a whole lot of participation in the crowd there. But I think a lot of people were sad. I saw they made sure that they showed the crowd, and there were some people crying and all this kind of stuff. The truth be told, I mean, there's nothing to cry about. There's no need to cry that you're not gonna have $1,000 electric bills coming up. You're not gonna have a lot of these energy problems. We're going to be ending all these wars. I mean, it's a time to celebrate, even if you're a Democrat and you feel like you lost. The things that are going to be happening are going to be good for the world. Not even just for the U.S., for the entire world. So really, this is a great time to celebrate. Shouldn't be anyone sad on either side of this. And with that, I do want to get into another topic, but let's just move over to what old Biden has to say about it, which is almost the exact same thing. It's almost like they are both the same puppet getting the same speech, slightly altered. They're both puppets. They're not their own words. This is not at all their own words, but they said almost the same exact thing. Biden did say, I've said it many times, you don't love your country just because you win, or just when you win, and you don't love your neighbor just when you agree, and all that kind of stuff, which, it's kind of the rhetoric we've gotten from him in the past. But here's the deal, and I'll just have to throw this out there again because here's the deal, Biden and all of y'all. The margin is such a huge gap. Technical issues there. Just Trump won by such a landslide that it's going to be interesting to look historically. When's the last time there was any election that there was this big of a margin, this big of a gap between the candidates? It's just a massive, massive landslide victory over it. And with that, yes, America has spoken. Now, this is kind of something that I've noticed, and some people are talking about, that Kamala Harris' campaign left $20 million in debt to the RNC, or the DNC. Sorry, not the RNC. They're doing fine, and so they spent well over $1 billion on this campaign, and they're $20 million in debt. They spent a lot of money and lost. So that's a lot of money spent. A lot of money spent on advertising. A lot of the mudslinging advertising that was going on there, and it didn't do them enough good. And they had the entire media, the entire legacy media on their side, and of course they're incumbent. But the truth is that what's happened the last 3 years resonated with American citizens in a negative way, and we all want to move forward. And with that, but it's I'm hearing when Obama left the Democratic National Convention, the DNC had 21 million in debt when Obama left office, but really I don't know how that exactly correlates here because Obama wasn't running his own campaign at the time. This is Kamala Harris's campaign that caused him to go deep in debt, but 20 million in debt. Then there's the question of why are there 15 million less Democrat voters? I refuse to use the term Democratic when I talk about Democrats, though. The thing is, and I know this is like I'm looking backwards, but I don't want to look backwards too much. But it's a question, so it's out there. Did they not show up? Did they not mail in the ballots? How did 15 million disappear? Or Was it 15 million dead people that voted in 2020 that didn't vote this time? I mean, where did it go? I will admit this. I know some Democrats that said they're just not going to vote at all. I know Republicans that, or undecided or whatever, that just aren't voting at all. So there's some of that, but maybe it's that they didn't want Kamala. They don't want Trump, so they're just going to sit it out. I don't know. I don't know the answer to this, but it does seem like one more shred of evidence that there was some sort of fraud last time. Now, next up, I want to get into the press secretary and how she took her briefing or whatever, her questioning. I'm going to say this. Karine Jean-Pierre. I actually had to cut that screen out to make sure I said her name correctly. I will say that I like her more than Jen Psaki simply because she actually smiles. So Karine actually smiles. I don't think she's good at her job at all. I think she's terrible at her job, but I actually like her. I prefer to watch somebody that is going to smile and not be as, like, I don't know, as a kind of a sour look on her face the whole time with Jen Psaki. She was always just sour. But then again, I mean, when you're trying to defend a pile of manure, is basically what you're going to step out in front of a pile of manure and say, nope, you don't smell manure back there. You don't see manure back there. No, it's a big pile of manure. I see it and I smell it. You know, we're talking about the Biden administration. And Karine Jean-Pierre today came out with, I guess she memorized 5 responses and gave one of those 5 responses. She's like, okay, this question's going to get response number 2. This one's going to get response number 3. The thing is, she just kept saying everything that was already said from Biden and from Kamala. But when she was asked about the dangerous rhetoric that we've been hearing leading up to this election, and the rhetoric was that Trump's an existential threat to democracy and that day one he's going to lock up certain groups of people, which is not going to happen, which was never any intention or any agenda anywhere, and that now Biden's come out and said everything's going to be okay. And one of the reporters asked, so what do you say to that? And she says, you're just twisting my words around. And then let's see if I get the graphic here. This is what she did. Boom. Thank you, everybody, and left. She just left. Now, she's done this a lot. She just only answers a few questions. Once the questions get even up to softball level, not even baseball level, not even hardball questions, the softball questions, she just darts and she leaves. It'd be nice to be able to have a job and, hey, I don't really have to do my job. I just don't feel like doing it. I'm just going to leave. But she's done it a lot. I mean, this is her key signature move. Again, this is coming from someone that actually likes her. I like her. I would rather hear from her than Jen Psaki is scary. She's scary. There's on a whole different level. And of course, she GTFO'd out of there very fast. I was surprised she stuck around as long as she did. But anyway, let's get into one more story. I'm going to wrap this up. Chris Pratt criticized for statements on Trump versus Harris. Oddly enough, he is a conservative. He's come out for freedom and talk about conservative values, and he lives conservative values. He is married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. Is that what's going on there? And anyhow, I'm guessing that he's getting a lot of pressure because he is a star in these Marvel movies, and he's getting pressure to stop making some conservative comments. Well, he came out after the election, which he should feel very strongly happy about this. He said that he's kind of neutral on this whole situation of Trump winning. That makes no sense at all. But it does kind of make sense because you still have Hollywood run by liberal leftists. For someone like him, that he wants to make his career and maintain his career, he's probably afraid that his career is going to go south or tank if he says anything. That's kind of scary. It's kind of sad. It's a sad state of affairs in America that you're not allowed to be yourself. You're not allowed to speak your own mind. You're not allowed to put out your own beliefs, or your livelihood could be destroyed, and it's still going on. Even though we voted in freedom, we've got someone here that doesn't truly feel like he has freedom in our country. And that's disgusting. It shouldn't exist in our country that you can't be yourself. But again, we've got a long road ahead. All right, let me know what you think about all this stuff. I'm doing the 10 videos in 10 days with the Economic Ninja. And the truth is, I did that on my other channel for 30 straight days is how I got noticed at all on YouTube. And he's right. I mean, everything Ninja says about this whole topic is correct. And, of course, the motivation for me to put 2 videos every day up and make sure I make this one is continuing. So thank you, Ninja. And if you're on this journey, then just understand that you've got to just keep the grind and you'll get somewhere. Like, subscribe. Financial Independence out.